whenever I sit down and think about what next, 100% of the time, nothing comes out of it. So never ever do that. I want to talk about something a bit whiffy-woffy, which is the subconscious mind. Typically, the best things happen when my mind is blank, nothing in my mind. And there are times when this happens, and inexplicably is always one or two times, although it happens in other times. A is when I'm at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm wide awake, dead silent. There is not a sound in the house. There's not a thought in my mind. And then out of the blue, something springs into my mind. The second time it happens will inevitably be in the shower, possibly, or maybe when I'm washing the car. I find washing cars therapeutic.
I do too, funny enough. I really do.
Okay, we share something common.
Boom.
And sometimes basketball. When I'm by myself in the court, a hoop in front of me and a ball in my hands, it's when my mind is blank, the best ideas come out.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
What I'm doing, I like to think of Cubic Promote as the base, as a springboard, as
the mothership.
As a
That's
mothership.
what I call CUB. Yeah,
as a mothership. And so because of that, because of the core skills and assets that are sitting in this mothership, it allows you the freedom to branch off to experiment other elements. And mind you, it is an experiment because it may not work out. It may fall flat on your face. But you're cool because at this point in time, you have built that humongous base of resources that you could get over it. But you could also go off to create new branches. And some of those new branches are going to work out. And when they work out, you're going to be in a great place.
Yeah. Yeah. The mothership keeps everyone on board safe. And the mothership may send out little trooper boats to go search for nice islands.
I like that.
It might send out trooper boats, go search for some islands. Yes. Some of the boats get lost, the ship, whale lands on it, and everyone dies. But some of the boats find an island, and the island might have lots of coconuts to farm and to sell, and that's what you're looking for. But as long as the mothership, you don't care if the little trooper boats disappear and never come back, so long as the mothership is there.
Absolutely.
And that's I always say that to Team CUB. This is the mothership. We can do other things, but this is priority. Priority number one always. This keeps everyone safe, happy, and beautiful.
A perfect example of that, the one that literally just came to mind, is actually Amazon. So Amazon, I believe, lost a lot of money for many, many years. Like best part of a decade, they lost money until one of their branches shot out and made them a lot of money. And I'm talking about Amazon Web Services.
Yes.
And so all of a sudden, Amazon Web Service has become this huge conglomerate of a business that actually makes money. Most consumers haven't heard of it, but for the Amazon group, they'll be. I would like to, not like to. I would have thought that their business would suffer immensely if they didn't have the revenue generating properties of Amazon Web Services.
It's a brilliant example of it.
I was in a toy store. I got a kid, he was buying a toy. Another kid runs up, he's 7 years old. He's pointing to this empty shelf and he's really loud, like this kid. He's like, yo, Mom, they're out of this thing again. I can't believe it. And so I looked at the kid, I was like, first thing I was going, shut up. Number two, I was then curious as to what is so hot, what is selling out that has made this kid cry out. This was Sunday afternoon, and I looked at it. It had the word fidget spinner. I never heard of a fidget spinner. This is a couple of years ago. But then I thought, okay, fidget spinners are selling out. Let me do some research. Next day at work on Monday, I'm doing research on fidget spinners. It turns out these little toys that we now all know about. And I was thinking, this has got a big branding area. This is the type of product that our customers may consider. It ticks all the right boxes. It's fun, it's unique, it's new, it's got a big branding area for someone's logo. It's low enough priced. It's a great option to a few of our other hot sellers, which are stress balls and sticky notepads. Okay, cool. Let me market this on our website. Let me promote this to our sales channels. Let me bring some of these products in. Fast forward. I think we sold a minimum of 60, 70,000 units of those things already. And that was just from this 7-year-old just screaming right next to me. that's one example of seeing opportunities.
So your eyes are always open to it. Your brain's always in the business, and even if you're toy shopping for your kid, you're looking for opportunities. The one thing that I've always found with opportunities is it's probably the most important lesson I've learned in regards to finding new opportunities is that sometimes as the founder or the business owner, whatever you are, you'll see an opportunity that is the right opportunity, but it's way down the path. It'd be like if you were building a building, it would be like the 10th level, but you may only be on the 5th level. And you know it's there and you're so tempted to go get it. Like there's so many times at CUB where I thought of something that was brilliant. It was good, right? But it wasn't good at that time. And, if you build the 10th level, but you're only up to the 5th level, it's going to fall, the 10th is going to fall, hit the 5th, damage the 5th, you'll be back on the 4th. And sometimes it's about banking those opportunity ideas. It's like, okay, that's a great idea, but that's a great idea in a year. Or where's the plan where that will fit? Just because you think of something doesn't mean you have to execute it right away.
Oh,
you might be excited, but finding opportunity is one thing, but then choosing when to execute and implement the opportunity is another thing. That's definitely a key lesson I found in regards to opportunities.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. Timing is everything. I've seen all the time products that are ahead of their time. I think that's what you're trying to say, isn't it? Products or features or things that are ahead of their time is like Bluetooth before smartphones were invented. Who needed Bluetooth before smartphones, right? As you see it all the time, and I actually love that thought process. It's something that I've subconsciously done all the time, is to bank it, and wait for the right moment. So it's taken me a long and tough learning process to know what to do when it comes to building a team. I'm a big basketball fan, and nowadays I build a team based on what I learned from basketball. So in basketball, there's a few things that are needed to create a great team. You need a great coach. You need home court advantage, typically to win a championship. Other than that, you need the big guy in the middle, a superstar player, an all-rounder, a point guard to handle the ball, a shooting guard that could play a lot of defense and shoot three-pointers. And you're always going to need three-pointers nowadays. And inevitably, you need someone that is also able to do the grunt work, and also a person that could play back to the basket. If I'm constructing a business team, 100% the same thing. I need someone that is an all-rounder, that could pick up the pieces or whenever there's excess work to be done. I need someone who can coach the team. I need someone who's a creative person, who creates the plays, the point guard to create the plays. I need someone who could score, execute. And the scoring is important because you can't win no games if you can't score. So I need someone to execute. I need someone to play defense. By defense, in a business setting, I'm talking about risk. I need someone to make sure that our backs are covered, that we haven't exposed ourselves unnecessarily or gone into something that will create a lot of problems for us down the track. And that's how I create teams.
And do each of your team members, do they know their position in that team? Do they know their purpose?
When they first join our team, no, they do not. Whenever someone starts in our company now, we hire them based on their values. Obviously, their abilities is important, but is their values.
Are they a cultural fit, do you mean?
Are they a cultural fit? Yeah. Will they have your back when things go sour? I read this book. It was by a guy who was witnessing the 9/11, and he saw paramedics and police officers and firemen run into the building to save lives when the building collapsed. However, at the same time, he also saw the same people in the same uniforms, other people, that is, run away. And he was thinking, what made some people inclined to run into a burning building and others to run away? And it was the values and the cultural fit. So when people join into our company, they have the right values. They have a certain amount of ability, but they don't know where their pieces fit yet. Over time, and I'm talking about weeks, maybe a month, maybe a max, you get to understand what they're good at. And once you understand what they're good at or what they want to be good at, for lack of a better word, I exploit it. I go, okay, so you're really good at that. Wow, you're really good at graphics, or you're really good at talking to customers, or you're really good at selling, or you're really good at spreadsheet processing work. I'm going to give you more of that work. I'm going to give you a lot more of it, right? You're still going to do the other tasks, but I'm going to give you more. And then over time, you create a team that's complementary, where they understand, and fit into the basketball team mold where you have different skill sets.
Yeah, I 100% agree. We can relate to that. We've got our community manager in Melbourne, who's a rock star. Her name's Holly. She was a community manager, so she had that role as community manager. But we found out maybe 6 months in from her starting that she's also a master at Excel. And now she does all of our reporting systems, all the like company structures on Excel. She does for the whole team. So whenever anyone needs Excel, she takes that. It's not something we knew when she even started. Everyone has an additional value, and that should be used. Yeah, that should be part of what they do for the company.
Yes.
A question I want to ask, because I like asking everyone this whenever we talk about teams, is how long do you feel it took you? How many years do you feel it took you to actually obtain what you would call your core team?
In a basketball team, there's always going to be different teams that excel at different things. So, for example, you got certain teams that win a championship just by shooting three-pointers, Golden State. You got certain teams that win championships by having a superstar, a really dominating superstar, Michael Jordan. You got teams that win in the center with Shaquille O'Neal and his teams. My teams are no different. Over the years, there are different iterations of these teams. They all, in my mind, win championships, but in a different way. So even my very first team of 2, we were a winning duo. And when we got to 5 people or 7-person teams, at that point in time, we were winning in our own way, using a different method. Maybe we were better at cold calling that particular team. And then a couple of years later, as people move on, we might be winning because, we have a stronger social media team now. We got a couple, and we win that way.
But does that mean that you think you were just very good at hiring the right people?
We've cut people very quickly who are not a cultural fit. And we needed to do that for the benefit of not just us, but also for the person working for us. Because if they're not a good cultural fit, they're not going to have a good time anyway.
They're not going to enjoy it, yeah. They're not going to like it anyway.